Welcome, ladies, to the Women's Mean Business Conference with Network She. So I'm Shirley Palmer, CEO of Simple Series. Delighted to be with you here today. And I hope so far that you're truly enjoying the conference. Huge thanks and gratitude as always out to Ruth, our amazing captain of the ship. And of course, it wouldn't be Ruth without having Nicola along as well, doing the tremendous support that she does. So ladies, thank you both for this awesome opportunity, and welcome to all of you that have chosen to actually join me on this particular workshop. So I decided that in business, I think one of the biggest problems that so many have is they don't really look at how can they systemize their business. So today I'd like to share with you some thoughts and ideas around how you can systemize in the best possible way to support what you're doing, more importantly, to amplify that growth that you're looking for. So with no further ado, let's get started. So our agenda, as you can see, is going to cover the why, the benefits, the ideal processes, the list, being able to develop that strategy, the new trends, and then, of course, sharing it in the mothership, the all-important factor of sharing and letting others know what you're up to. So reasons, why would we consider looking at bringing systemization into our business? So typically speaking, with being a business owner or an entrepreneur, you usually end up being too busy, not having enough time to work in your business. So that might be alluding to not having a full and clear vision of what you're doing with your business, maybe not getting the growth potential that you'd like. Some of the others that's on the list, lack of time, wearing too many hats, you've got too much to do, and you're missing out on those opportunities. What would we be liking to achieve and actually bring in from the systemization? Well, of course, one thing that we all want is more free time to do the things that we love and to spend with those that we really love, rather than working too much in the business, a little bit more working on the business. Equally so, we all need to really look at our efficiencies and the effectiveness with what it is that we're doing within the business and how we're improving on that. Always, I don't know about you, but when those little surveys come through from businesses, or how was your experience, or, getting your car serviced or buying a new product or something, I always go back with the best of the best of what that might be. So I was asked for a quick survey on something in the last few days, and I put 9 out of 10, and they came back and went, well, why? My answer is there's always room for improvement. So when you look at your business, recognize that there's definitely more room for improvement. What might that be? How can you give your customer not just a better customer service, but a better customer experience? Remember, what they're looking for is that experience, how it makes them feel. What are they gaining out of that? Why do they enjoy working with you? Why do they keep coming back to you as a client? Of course, that equally means that you're going to want more opportunities, and maybe you're looking at that added extension for growth. So added benefits, let's just sit on the right-hand side, shall we, for a minute. Imagine a potential 25% growth. Now, the reality is I have done this with some of my clients and more in a very short space of time. We've had some clients that have literally gone 30% plus on their growth, but equally so have saved 100,000 within that time frame as well. But if we look at stepping back and thinking about some of those simple benefits and what they might be, they could be reducing your stress levels. They could be about effectively leading better. So think about it from a viewpoint of whether it's just you in the business, or whether you have a VA, or whether you have some people that you subcontract to. Maybe it's your web designer that you subcontract. Maybe you do have a VA. Maybe you have a distributor. And while some of those people you may not see as being directly in your team, they're all extensions of your business. So it's important that you look at how you lead effectively in order to support them and help them understand how they can lead better, because they are a representation of you, your business, your brand, your messaging, and all of that is relevant as you share your message every single day, whether that's social media, whether that's your website, whether that's through your products and your services. Again, that can lead to better products. So reevaluating your product and identifying, okay, how can I improve this? Or how can I improve this service? What does that look like? We touched upon it briefly before, excellent customer experience. So again, that importance of what does that experience feel like for your customers? Did they really enjoy the sign-up process? Did they enjoy purchasing your product? Was it a simple, streamlined process? Or did they suddenly find, oh my God, no, it's another click and another click and another click and another click? When people come to your shop, so let's say you've got an online shop, or let's say you use Facebook shop as part of your process, they want a simplistic, easy process. They don't want complexity. They don't want to have to tick lots of boxes. The same when you're doing a survey. You know, I see people that do surveys with, let's say, 30 or 40 questions. Really? Seriously? Come on. You need to shorten that down. You really need to look at the context. People feel bombarded today with technology, and therefore they're going to want to keep stripping it back and back and back. So the simpler you can make it, the more engaging you can make it, the more dynamic you can make it, you're more likely to get the engagement, you're more likely to get the customer. Again, the added benefits is going to be about that desired work environment. So if you're systemizing your business, if you're systemizing processes, if you're helping the team, you should be creating a better, more engaging work environment and space. Things should feel much more like they're in flow, not complicated, not complex, not difficult. It should be one of flow, grace, and ease. You'll hear me talk about that often. The last one on there, I would definitely say, is that opportunity for growth potential. So going back to what I've shown here on the right-hand side of the slide, imagine a potential 25% growth in your business. What would that feel like for you right now? Let's say, you know, we're 1st of October and you've got that 3 months till the end of the year, or even if you take it to the 4 months to the end of January, depending what your business model is, whether December is a good month for you or a bad month for you. Imagine that added growth potential. How powerful would that be for you? And how might you look at it to support your brand in another level altogether? So again, going back to why would you systemize and what would that look like? So we often look at it a viewpoint from processes, what processes, and I will share with you in a few minutes a list of different processes that you can consider. But here I've just chosen 3 from a viewpoint of top 3 that I think people typically look at or consider. So again, depending on the nature of the business that you're in, so I'm working on a basis for a moment that you're probably more likely in a service-driven business if you're going to do a quote or a proposal. So from that viewpoint, I'm wondering how many of you end up creating a new proposal every single time. I wonder how many of you currently have a very simplistic template that will give you the ability to cut and paste and just put the added information in. Do you have a master template that kind of covers your list of services, what it is you can provide, and then you can cherry pick and have those dropped into your proposals and your quotes, and making that simpler and easier. Again, with your quotes and proposal, making that simple and easy when you send it to the client, giving them that opportunity to where they can actually make some edits that they feel would be more suitable, where some added matters on there that they might want to discuss. So give them that ability to put in the edits of what else they'd like to discuss. And also, lastly, of course, giving them that opportunity to literally sign it, send it back, signed and sealed, done in the ether without lots of emails back and forth and constant added time being spent unnecessarily. So there is so many ways that you could actually look at improving your quotes and your proposals process that would actually enhance and support a better way to be communicating with your client, and also for you and for your business as well. Example number 2, customer service and retention. It amazes me that so many people think of a customer as just a customer. And it's like, oh, they became a customer and they took that product and then they left again. And people don't think about, is there a possibility for retention here? Is there a possibility that we have something else that we can offer them? Is there an opportunity to offer them maybe something like an affiliateship where they might bring added support or something to you? So let's say, for example, you are a firm of lawyers and you've got an accountancy firm that you're working with, and you've got several different departments. So you have a family department that deals with prenups, that deals with wills, that deals with divorces. Let's say you have equally so a team that's dealing with business contracts, etc. So have you looked at that cross-pollination? Have you looked at that ability to be able to reshare that information back to your client from a viewpoint of that client may have, or both of you may have an opportunity to really collaborate in another level? So start thinking about your, have a look maybe at your customer base. Who have your clients been in the last 6 months, the last year? What kind of service have you provided? When you've provided a service or a product to them, did you follow up? Did you follow up, check how the product was, how they viewed it? Was everything packed well? Bring in that TLC. It's like giving them a little bit of I often talk about this, giving them a warm hug, making them really feel as part of the family. The engagement that you're going to get is going to be tenfold. You're more likely to get them to put reviews. They're more likely to come back to you. When a friend says, oh, I'm looking for a lawyer or an accountant, you know what? They're going to actually recommend you. And this is where you've got to look at it from a viewpoint of, you want that recommendations. You want, like in the mothership, in the mothership here, we have people that are automatically saying, oh, do you know what? Do we have a Facebook guru on board who might be able to help with that? And all of a sudden, yes, we do. We have Ruth, I call her Ruth number 2, the lovely Ruth, who is a fantastic Facebook guru. I've used Ruth to help us out with the business on many different occasions. She has an eclectic mix of different things that they cover within their business, within their brand, and equally so a superb team. So there's different diversification there that might be. So you might want to actually go and visit the mothership listing, and you will see and understand the different businesses that are there and how people can support or can collaborate with others in figuring out what else could be supportive amongst their networks and how that presents itself. And as you see here, I put in example number 3. Now, I don't know a single entrepreneur who really likes doing the back end admin. For most of them, it's like, I don't want to look at a bank account. I really don't want to deal with the invoicing. I remember one particular gentleman who ran a tech company. And I often used, and this was in my private equity days, and I often used to wonder how he ran his business and how he managed his business, because I would have to chase him about every 3 months because he hadn't billed us on a monthly basis. And actually, it was a big monthly retainer. So we weren't paying him. He wasn't chasing for it. He was still doing all the work. It was like, really? Why? Because he didn't like doing the admin. He didn't like that back end in process. And instead of having it outsourced to someone else for a small fee, which today actually is probably one of the most simplest and easy things that you could do, and or looking at when we look at the list in a minute, what else you can bring into the table from a viewpoint of engaging and looking at your billing, your customer service, that administrative aspect that comes to the table. So, quick question. What might your top 3 be? So I'm looking forward to seeing after tomorrow, after the conference, what it is that you have listed as your top 3 from the list. So let's have a quick look at the list. Oops, screen is double jumping. So quick snapshot of the list. So lead generation. Perfect one, depending on the nature of your business again, but everybody's generally looking for leads or looking for that cross-pollination. The sales and the lead nurturing, again, it's a particular type of person that really engages with that. Not everybody likes it, but the reality is we all do sell on a regular basis. Quotes and proposals I just talked about, customer service and retention I talked about, onboarding new clients, another really simplistic process. Once you've got them set up on board, how you manage them, how you work with them, all the information that goes to them, how that might be. Sales funnels, the staff training, calendars and booking, of course, is a normal one that most people do. Billing them, surveys, we talked about that earlier. Maybe your marketing content, admin, we talked about earlier. Of course, scheduling your social media, which is a relatively easy one these days. Email marketing and updating a website. So there is a great list of different thoughts, processes where you can bring systemization into your business that's actually going to support it. So again, looking at the strategy, how are you going to do that and what are you going to focus on first? So I always say to every entrepreneur, focus on what it is that you really love. Focus on what it is that you really enjoy, what you're really good at in the business. So again, this goes back to step 1. Focus on what you can do. So understand what you can do. Identify what you don't want to do or you can't do yourself. And therefore, you can actually look at sharing that and outsourcing it or engaging with someone else in the team. So look at that whole systemization process, the automation process, and the outsourcing with the help of the whole team. So consider your whole team in that process of thinking who else is it that you're working with. And remember that extension of your team and understanding who's working in the business and who do you already outsource to that isn't almost like an extension of your team, because they may have some other added advice or support or something they can give you. Typically, we're looking at websites, for example. Your website chap or lady could very simply do an automatic once a quarter process for you, double checking all your links, making sure everything is updated. Maybe you want to add some extra added blogs or added in some added SEO in there. If you don't ask, you don't get. So again, it's understanding what added services they might have. They might even be able to host your website at a better fee, which means you know you've got everything under one place, and that makes a world of difference as well. So, and of course, what did I say earlier? The most important thing at the end of all of this is sharing what you've chosen to look at systemization. Share how you're going to up level that. What difference is that actually going to make for you, your business model, the brand, and the overall picture of what it is that you're doing? So we would really love to hear, what have you learned from this process on systemization? What would you really like to systemize? And where can you see that that might actually benefit your business? So thank you again for joining us. Last piece of advice, always, always, always consider what the new trends are that's out there. Too many people don't keep on top with what new technology might be available, what new software might be available, and how you might be able to do things better. Consider a survey with your customers and really evaluate and listen to what it is that they're suggesting that would really support them better. So, as always, Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to Ruth and Nicola again. Delighted to present to you Systemise Your Business. I am Shirley Palmer, CEO and founder of the Simple Series. Feel free to jump on board, drop us a message, connect with us. Huge thank you. And of course, you can find us at www.thesimpleseries.com. So ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that brief session and looking forward to hearing your comments. Bye for now.